Hey everyone, welcome to today's show. For Trending, we're talking all about Ozempic.
757 Living, we went to a local brewery here in Suffolk, Sojourn Fermentory.
For Life Unfiltered, we tackle the issues we've had with weight.
And Fan Zone, we're going to tell you all about the Chrisleys back to reality.
For Gummy Bears, we have a doozy for you. Kids, Halloween party, sugar-free gummy bears. What could go wrong? I'm Kashmir.
I'm Jackie.
And we are
the Nobodies. 757.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nobody 757. Thank you those who are listening to us on podcast platforms or those who are watching us on YouTube and Spotify. You can also find us on social, so be sure to like, follow, comment, share, subscribe, all of the above. And today we have a great topic for you, Ozempic. It's a pretty hot topic because it's all about what we all want to do, lose weight.
Yep.
But is it good for you? And what is it?
Okay, well, I had to do a little research. I'm just going to pull out my phone because Ozempic was intended for adults with type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that they could improve blood sugar control.
Okay.
Which makes sense. It helps their insulin levels. And then the GPL-1s like Wegovy, they were approved for chronic weight management. And even like little 12-year-old people over 12 who have obesity.
Okay.
And you have an overweight problem. And the only other thing is I think how you get a GPL-1 prescribed to you, like, so I guess your insurance paying for it, you would have to have a weight-related issue. So you'd have to be overweight, and then you would have to have like high blood pressure or diabetes.
Okay, that makes sense. And I remember you saying too, like when they made Ozempic, they didn't know like it would just make you lose weight.
No. Even they said, I went to Johns Hopkins and they said, this doctor was saying, we don't know how it happened, but it does slow down digestion.
Huh.
Yeah. So there's even like this statewide hospital rule where they can't be on Ozempic or GPL-1 for a week if you're going to get like be put under because you could have aspiration. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, aspiration. And not put under.
Not
like,
put under, but like say you were
anesthesia.
Getting... anesthesia.
Just funny.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So that's interesting. I know it, like you said, it slows down digestion. And from people we like know personally who took it, they say it makes you stop eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I heard that the more you eat, the worse the symptoms can be.
Okay. Which we will go over the side effects. But I also wanted to point out, so we tried to see how easy it is to get on a GPL-1.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I noticed, like, sometimes I would think about going on Weight Watchers, and I'm like, what is this? Like, add a GPL-1 option? And I'm like, no, that's just for, like...
I didn't know what it was either.
Yeah, like, people who, like, really need to lose, like, 40, 50 pounds. And then I seen Noom, like, oh, you can do micro-dosing GPL-1. And I'm like, micro-dosing? And I took, like, their whole quiz, and I wasn't, like, in the obese category. But I was surprised at the end. They're like, oh, you qualify for this. It's just be $120 a month.
Me too. It tried to entice me because it said I would be down by the weight I wanted to lose by November 15th.
Mine too. Well, probably because we do. Yeah, they said I would be down November 15th.
So that really tried to entice me.
Yeah. Like that's down, for me, that'd be like down almost 15 pounds.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that sounds great. But there's also another thing that's making us all happy about this is because, or not happy, but excited, is the celebrities who now are endorsing Ozempic. And I do have a list here. There's Oprah. She's like the main one I heard. And she even did like a whole show about Ozempic.
I think she hid it at first though, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's some who did hide it. Like Lizzo, which Lizzo denied it first. But like
it was Lizzo.
She dropped like half her body weight. How can you? I mean, I unless she was doing The Biggest Loser, but we didn't see her on TV. No. Rebel Wilson, Meghan Trainor, Kathy Bates, Elon Musk.
Wow.
Yeah, and the only thing that gets me a little concerned with that is just because, take Oprah, for instance. She always talks about how hard it is for her to lose weight, and it's such a struggle, which I believe it is. I'm not trying to knock her on that.
Oh, yeah, she's always had a problem.
But, I mean, these people who are celebrities, I mean, they can get personal trainers.
Oh, no, Oprah has a chef.
Yeah. And, like, why couldn't they just cook her the food to help her lose weight? Why did she really need to go on Ozempic?
Maybe her insulin levels are off.
Oh.
Maybe she had diabetes. See, we don't know.
That's true. I just think I'm the conspiracy theorist where I think that they're
getting money.
Yeah, or they're like promoting this drug and then it's making us like people like, oh, if they did it, oh, I should do that too.
No, I agree. It's tried to entice me.
Yeah.
Because you look at people that are taking it that weren't really that big and they've gotten down, and then you kind of relate because you're like, oh, well, I'm not that big, but I would really like to lose the weight.
Yeah, I want to get down those 10 pounds, but let's go over the side effects.
So nausea, constipation, diarrhea. Okay, I already have problems that I'm dealing with through fiber.
Yeah.
Headaches, fatigue, abdominal pain, dizziness, and then loss of appetite, which is true, pancreatitis, gallbladder issues, and then these ones I didn't like, acid reflux, because I like to sing, and I heard Jelly Roll said he's not against it, but he doesn't want to wreck his vocal cords.
Yeah.
Kate Moss's, she's like a model, Kate Moss's sister had seizure from it.
Oh.
Muscle loss because you lose weight so fast, so you really need to do strength training.
Mm-hmm.
They say you get a metallic taste in your mouth.
Oh.
I know that one was like, no. And then the other thing too, I didn't like, you'd have to stay on it for life.
Yeah.
Because one doctor at the Johns Hopkins, he says he tells his patients right away, this is going to be a long journey, and most likely you're going to have to stay on it for life. Otherwise, the weight's going to come back and even more.
That's scary because you've already kind of changed your metabolism. And I wanted to mention a couple other, I remember Maureen Callahan mentioned on The Nerve on her MK Media show that another issue is vision changes.
No.
Any changes with vision is not for good.
No.
And also thyroid cancer. So like if you have a history of anything with your thyroid, you can't take it. This hasn't been studied long term.
No.
So just kind of weigh that as well, because you don't want to be the guinea pig for something or get the infomercial.
No, that's what I was thinking. Did someone in your family take Ozempic for a GPL1 and now...
You may be entitled for benefits. Call this number. So,
or like poor Sharon Osbourne, she says that she can't gain the weight back.
Yeah, she's like her cancer weight when she was on chemo. So
that's scary. So you just don't know. You want to weigh it all before you take it. I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to stay the course, but I can understand why people want to. I don't judge.
I would pray about it and really talk with your doctor. Like we're not doctors, so we can't offer medical advice. And this is just our research and studies, and just really consider. But yeah, I don't want to take it either. I'm scared. But speaking of weight loss, we're going to talk about food now. Really good food. So where do we go?
Well, we went to Sojourn Fermentory here in Suffolk by our house at Bridgeport, and we got pizza. It was so good.
They were really good. And I think the great thing about them, because you research them, is they do like this 72-hour fermentation. Fermentation process for their dough. And why is that good?
Well, I started clean eating like back in March. I've kind of reverted a little bit, but it's like taking out seed oils.
Yeah.
So I found out they don't use any seed oils in their pizza dough. They only use olive oil. And then the fermentation is good because it's better for your gut and your digestion issues. And too, I guess if you have gluten problems.
Yeah, because I think maybe not the owner, but somebody who has stake in the restaurant came and talked to us and how it's like more European clean eating. And so I would say like the food was super fresh. We got the garlic Parmesan fries.
Oh, they were so good.
I've
never had those before.
Oh, no. With a garlic aioli.
Yeah.
And for the listening audience, we have pictures rolling over, and you can check out our Instagram and Facebook and
they were
X.
so good.
Yeah. And then the cheese pool. And then these are like square pizzas, and then like
it was a grand cheese pool.
And we got pepperoni, cheese, and the margarita, and then we also got the beignets.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I said I would get those for my birthday. I do not need cake.
Yeah, me too.
I want a beignet.
But I also like the atmosphere was so nice. Like it was a really large place.
Yeah, I loved the place. I was like, wow. You wouldn't think it was that big inside from the outside.
And I know they do events during the week, like bingo, and
it's community driven.
Yeah, very community oriented. And yeah, it was just a great atmosphere, very modern, but they were friendly. Friendly, and
they have good beer.
Yeah.
Like I've tried their IPAs at that Bennett's Creek music.
Yeah, the concert
series. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I love their IPAs, and Jay Random wants to go now.
Yeah.
And then you tried a beer.
Yeah, I did. I got a light beer because it was like noonish, so I couldn't. I didn't want to have like.
It was I wouldn't say a Coors Light.
Yeah, but it was like a light beer, and it was really crisp and great. So I would highly recommend that place.
Me too.
Yeah, I just loved it.
Definitely.
And if you're wanting to go out here to Bridgeport, you know, we have a different TJ Maxx, and different TJ Maxxes have different
so
stuff.
True. I've been around. That doesn't sound good. I've been around, but I love to go to all the different TJ Maxxes.
So if you want to come out here with your family, or if you're local in Bridgeport, I highly recommend this restaurant. And hey, if you have a comment or if you want to share for us a place to go in the 757 or have questions about Ozempic or thoughts, how can they get a hold of us?
Okay, so you can text us at our number 757-756-7487. And then if you want to send us an email, go to connect at the KNOWBUDDIES 757.com. Can't wait to hear from you.
And next we're going to be tackling, or I guess it is tackling, our weight and how we feel. So
that's
tune
lovely.
in. Want to be in the know?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Listen to us on all podcast platforms.
Follow us on all our socials.
Visit our website, thenobody757.com. I'm Kashmir.
I'm Jackie.
And we are
the Nobodies 757.
So for today's Life Unfiltered, we kind of talked about weight with Ozempic and how they're making weight loss so easy. And I think it's important for us to be honest with people. Just weight is a topic we talk about
all the time.
Yeah.
In our house.
And in our thoughts.
Yeah.
And then every time we eat something, it's like, is this
no,
bad?
I know. I was on Weight Watchers. And then I went on calories, and it's taken me 2 years to lose 12 pounds. So I understand. And then being on here, it makes you self-conscious, and you have to actively choose to not conform yourself to the image of this world.
I mean, that was like when we've been doing our camera test, and I was like, and it's like, I mean, you can just keep picking yourself apart. And
True.
I guess it's kind of like took me this long, like 30-something years to realize that no matter how skinny I am, I want to be skinnier.
I'm the same way. It's never enough.
Yeah. And I'm never happy, even when I'm skinny. Like,
that's something I don't want to be anymore.
I guess like when we moved here from Alabama, I was a little heavier, and then like I got on Weight Watchers, and I like dropped down to like, I was 113, like 110. I was super thin. And because I was going to school, I was doing all these film shoots, and then like I got a job from my company working full time, and like I put on weight. I went from 115 to 130.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. And right when I got to 130, I was so like mad at myself and hated how I looked. And I was like, I have to get back down to 115. And I would run and do Pilates.
And what's so sad is I never looked at you like that. But isn't it horrible how you can judge yourself so harsh?
It is. And then I ended up hurting my ankle and needing surgery. And then so like I kind of got up to like 140. And then at 140, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so fat. Like, oh, I hate this. And I had to like get new clothes, and I hated it. And I was like, I just want to get back to 130. Oh God, why did this happen? When I was like, you were just complaining at 130. And then I guess like COVID happened. And then like I was in like this really like high pressure job at one point, which I really think messed up like my whole digest, like just it messed me up bad. And I got all the way up to like almost 160. I just remember being extremely bloated, and I was running. Like I would run every morning trying to get back to just 150 or trying to get back to 140 when I hated myself at 140. And then like I did, I got myself like down to the 147s. Like I was like, okay, I'm making progress. And then I hurt my shoulder and my back, and it's like, okay. And then they like, I want to say like it got all the way back to 160. I think I'm kind of more stabilized now, but it was like at every moment of my weight journey, I hated myself.
And then you felt like you got set back.
So yeah, I really had a hard time like accepting myself. But it's like I had that issue the whole time. So, but I know you've had a similar experience after having your daughter, right?
Exactly. And before I had her, I remember I did drugs for a year. So I got really skinny doing drugs, which was bad. Then I had a miracle and I got set free, but I gained weight. And the busboys at work would tell me that I was hunky, and I would get so mad. And then I went on calories. I asked my mom what to do. Then I lost weight. but it's always been a thing, like wanting to be a certain weight. I don't know why, just because I always would just be a certain weight. And then before I had Daniela, I could not lose the weight. I went up to like almost 170. I can weigh 155. That's a good weight for me to be healthy. But I was like at 170, I couldn't lose the weight. I was rollerblading. I was doing everything. But then I got pregnant with her, and I thought back then I could tell myself, you needed that weight because that was making you healthy for having her. And then after I had her, I got hyperthyroidism. So I lost all this weight. But in my mind's eye, I thought it looked good because the scale was telling me how skinny I was. But in reality, my mom was like, Jackie, what? You look like a twig. And I'm not really a twig body type. I didn't like that either. So see, it's just how you view yourself. And for some reason, weight just can truly cripple you. I really believe that because I felt like it has crippled me mentally, just thinking about it. And then don't compare because that's like the worst thing ever. And Instagram's the worst. Yeah. Because I know, because most people are really, really young on Instagram and really skinny. And I'm not that young anymore and I'm not that skinny. So you have to completely tell yourself not to compare, which is God tells you not to compare. Yeah. But I understand. So, and then around COVID, I gained, I think I was almost 178. Yeah. And then after COVID, I went on Weight Watchers. I went down again. And then it's like I gained it back again after COVID. And it was just like I was fluctuating. And then for the last 2 years, it's taken me 2 years to lose 12 pounds. And I remember when I first started making my EP Looks Like Love, I thought I was fat then. And I look back now and I just told God, please just let me see myself in a good light because I was not fat then, but I was telling myself in my head that I was.
I did the same thing. And I honestly, it's like, I think if you keep telling yourself that you're fat, that's how you're going to see
God's
yourself.
Word. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Yeah. But I mean, I do listen to scripture. I do pray, but I don't know why that little mental block has been there. I don't know if you'd call it a mental block, but that's what I'm calling
obsession,
it.
Or like
obsession, maybe. Yeah. That's better.
And I remember I was like a little heavier. I was like in the 150s and I went to the doctor and it wasn't my regular doctor. It was a nurse practitioner. And like she put in my report that I was obese.
That's so mean.
And I'm sorry to say, like, she was heavier than me too. And I was like, I know the BMIs. I know where I am based on my height. And yeah, it says I'm like overweight. But I've never been told in a doctor report that I'm obese.
No.
And it's like you want to be like, oh, so I'm not healthy. Like
I'm just I don't know. That was just crazy to me.
I reported it to my doctor and she was nice to me, but I was just like, it's like there's a stigma on you. And yeah. And I know like you growing up too, like you had people be weird about your body. Remember what?
Well, I did. Like when I was 12, my friends were like telling me what a great body I have and telling me to wear a bikini. And I didn't look at myself like that. I was 12 years old.
But didn't you have someone make a comment?
No.
That's what, I knew there was something.
They would say, chop her face off, keep her body. Or like a mother would say, I like her 5 pounds skinnier. Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, it even would be another mother said, I like her tanner. Like it was always obsessed with my
appearance.
And I thought it was so weird because I would fluctuate. I remember in high school from like 140 to 145. And that's when they would say that. And I was like, I'm hungry, people. Like I still look good. I don't care. Yeah. And back then I didn't really have the stigma. I think it was after probably doing drugs and getting so skinny and then gaining the weight.
And then having your
them
daughter
telling me how hunky I am at work. I don't even think that's good when you're looking to people for approval of your body. Yeah. And I think that's what happened to me because people approved of my body. And then now it's like, oh, you're not that body type anymore, you know? Mm-hmm. It's hard. And then too, having Daniela, I gained a lot of weight with her because I was hungry and I was happy. But I didn't realize I was going to get some extra skin. So I have been vain. Like I've told Jerry I want to get the skin chopped off. And I've said things. He's like, you are not doing that. Or, but and living in California too, we grew up in California. it was way different over there. It was I would say way more vanity. Like people got boob lifts and boob jobs and tummy tucks and got all that stuff. And it was like a norm to me to think people were getting it.
I know.
Like I didn't even think badly of it. I was like, ooh, you got a boob lift.
Because plastic
it
surgery.
looks so good. I mean, I seen one lady, she got one and showed me and I was like, wow, you look great.
Yeah. And
but your story's different. Your childhood story.
I know. It's weird, like when you look back and say things and it's like, I can't believe that actually happened and I didn't because I always think of myself a processing thing as my mind now as opposed to a kid.
Yep.
But like my mom and dad, like they were separated. They were together for 10 years though. It's not like my mom just was out being a bad person.
No.
But my dad was very chauvinistic. And I remember when I would go with him, he would call women pigs. Like he's I need to go find me a pig.
Called your mom a moose.
Yeah, he did. He was very
My sister was not a moose.
No, my mom's very pretty. But I guess that by using that type of language, I think it probably in my head as a child, it made me like, oh, okay, so you don't want to be fat.
You were so little too and petite.
So I think sometimes that stuff can get into you subconsciously, but there has to be a point because like in both of our cases, we kept wanting something else besides ourselves.
It wasn't enough.
If like say we lose weight, even if we did like the Ozempic.
Yeah, but what am I going to do? Still judge my body?
Yeah, exactly. Because if I'm never happy with myself, then how am I ever going to be happy?
I agree.
So I think you just really have to put that into God's hands.
And be careful of images. Yeah. Like a long time ago, I would tell my mom, I would say, what do I do? Like, I just feel so bad about myself. And I just think other women are just so beautiful. And I'm like, God, they're just so beautiful. And then she told me to say, do not conform yourself to the image of this world. And then too, I don't know if I got that from her, but I did it myself. I would actively not look in the mirror because I was obsessive. So I've actually trained myself. Now I've got to really now come to the point. What you're saying is I'll be happy with myself no matter what. I accept myself.
I accept myself.
Yes.
And make active choices to, try to eat healthier, be active, but just love who you are and accept yourself.
I love that.
And if you have a story that you'd want to share with us or you have these struggles, please feel free to write to us. We're not judger people and
no,
we just want to hug you or give you strength so you can call us or text us.
757-756-7487 and then, or you can email us. You go to connect@KNOWBUDDIES757.com.
Great. And coming up, we have a great fan zone talking about the Chrisleys and a gummy bear segment you don't want to miss.
When it rolls, I'll be the catch you. When it falls, you be my only, and I'll be your all. And when it breaks and falls apart, I'll be the pieces of your broken heart.
Hey everyone, Jackie Self here. Go and listen to my EP, Looks Like Love, wherever you stream your music. I can't wait to share these songs from my heart with you.
Hey everyone, welcome back, and we are here in Fan Zone! Today, we are talking about the Chrisleys.
I know, I'm excited.
We love the Chrisleys.
I do.
Yeah, we used to watch them, like the Chrisleys
all
Know
the
Best.
time. I love Todd.
And then, I know. So it was him, his wife, Julie.
Then you got Nanny Faye. I love Nanny.
That's Todd's mom.
Yeah, and I love Todd too. And then I love Julie too. I love them all. Like I know them.
That's why this is called Fan Zone, people.
Yes. Then we have Chase, their son. Oh no, but Todd has two older children, Kyle and Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has children with Julie, which is Chase, Savannah, Grayson, and then they adopted Kyle's daughter, Chloe, and she's so cute.
And they were on air for years until...
As Chrisley Knows Best.
Yeah, Chrisley Knows Best. And I think it was on like USA Network. But then they got arrested.
I did not like that.
What was it for?
It was for tax evasion and saying that they
took loans out and they didn't pay them back.
And then they didn't pay their taxes.
Yeah. And then they got convicted of it and they got put in jail.
Which is horrible.
I feel bad because I just assumed like juries are great. And I was like, oh yeah, like if they convicted, I just figured they did it. And you kind of turned the table a little bit sooner because you started watching Savannah's podcast.
And I did start researching. Well, first I started researching and I thought, this is so strange. None of this even makes sense. So basically, Todd had a business partner that was like family.
Yeah.
And that's the part that when I started investigating, I didn't like that because he got immunity
to tell on them.
And he was the one doing the things that he was telling on them. Well, not even on Julie, on Todd. And he was the one taking Todd's place and forging these documents. So in my mind already, you give someone immunity who is not a good character witness.
Like, he alleged that him and Todd had a gay affair, which people speculate, oh, is Todd gay? Because he's like metrosexual, you'd say. Yeah, but like everyone said, like, do you have receipts, text messages, emails, photos?
Well, that's what Julie said. She said, show me the proof.
I know.
You know who your man is.
Recently, though, why they're back is because they got pardoned by Trump.
I know.
I was so happy for them
I
to
was
hear
too.
that because
A full pardon, too.
yeah, full pardon. Because, I mean, when I was looking at the trial, like, they wanted to give them life in prison. Like,
No.
they didn't even kill anybody.
That's why I don't believe in that jury pool. I think that they resented them. I think that they were biased.
Because they had money.
And it was politically motivated because they supported Trump.
Yeah.
And then the judge, too, when I watched Savannah's podcast, the judge was against Savannah, like outrightly. It was just wrong.
Yeah, it was really abuse of power. So they did like a reality show. It was on Lifetime, and we had a hard time finding it. I think we ended up doing like a free subscription to Philo, and we like binged it all. So you guys don't have to. And there will be spoilers. We're gonna just tell what happens. So if you don't want to listen, then just skip on
I think the great part is when the kids, so Savannah and then I guess Julie's parents, Nanny Faye,
Yeah.
when they started the reality show, they didn't know if or when they were going to be pardoned.
Yeah, so that wasn't a part of the story when they started it.
So when they got pardoned, to me, that was like a God wink because they both get pardoned at the same time.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go on the show with their kids and reunite.
The thing too, like Savannah, she had to just take care of everybody. Like
Yeah.
I really commend her. And she
Me
was
too.
fighting to get the pardon. And then Chase, I mean,
I think he didn't know how to process it.
yeah, he had stuff going on.
Because
Like,
people deal with things differently. Savannah was like, to me, was like, get into action, take care of the siblings. I'm going to help my parents. I know this is injustice. And then Chase was more of a different type of personality to deal with his parents being gone.
so they were really separated, and there was a big divide. Like, even Savannah, I don't blame her, but like Chase didn't get to go with them when they picked up the parents. There was a divide with
The
her,
grandparents
yeah.
with Julie's parents and Savannah, and then
Chase. And
Chase
then-
with Julie's grandparents. They seemed to favor him.
And we speculated, like, he said he drank alcohol, and then he was saying he was sober during the show, but just something looked off. And then, spoiler, he did go to rehab at the end, which I am glad because you could just tell he was struggling.
Yeah.
One of the biggest bombshells, though,
Oh, yeah.
Lindsay,
That was just heartbreaking.
because she went on the podcast before they went to jail.
With Chrisleys Confessions.
Yeah.
Todd wanted to start it to reunite their family, back again with Lindsay. And then they find out in court that she was working with the FBI. And also there's this other little side too, that the state of Georgia hired some IRS dude to look into people that did tax evasion.
Mm-hmm.
How would you know who to go after? But he knew to go after the Chrisleys.
And then they did this shady thing where he went to their storage unit.
Oh, I didn't like that.
And
That
threatened-
one made me so mad.
He said he had a warrant and he was going to arrest the storage facility lady overseeing it. She let him take the stuff, and it wasn't even an official warrant. And
I know.
And-
Thank you.
Lindsay was texting that man for 18 months.
And I'm just thinking, what was she doing?
I don't know, but
And I did not like that guy's face.
No.
Sorry. He just made me so mad. Well, they got all their furniture back and it was destroyed, all their things. So what was he, just hanging out with people, destroying their stuff?
yeah, real shady. But
Mhm.
back to the full circle.
Yes,
I think
yes.
it was like worth the watch to see them reunited because we got to see behind the scene footage, and I don't know, it made me so happy, and then that they had such a happy ending and that it
It is. And then you got to see Savannah like give a
Yeah.
voice for her family. That was amazing.
and Grayson too, how
Oh,
strong.
God, he's so mature. Oh, I just love him.
I do too. So you guys, I would recommend checking it out, or at least checking out their podcast, Chrisley Confessions 2.0,
Yes.
because they're just a great family and we love them. So we
do love them.
we're
And now they're
fans.
doing like prison ministry or prison help.
I know. See, we could keep going on,
We
but
could.
we do got to get to our Gummy Bear segment. So for the premise, Gummy Bears is what happens when you serve sugar-free gummy bears. This review is from 2015, but I came across these during COVID. And they're just these hilarious reviews that people wrote, and they're bad poop stories.
Oh, they're funny.
Yeah. So, you want me to get started with this one?
Oh, yeah.
So, it's the scariest harvest party will forever haunt school. His name is Greg. I won't say his last name, and he posted it in 2015. I bought 2 bags of these to my son's school for their harvest party because of the new sugar-free and healthy eating initiatives. All appeared well. The kids were thrilled to have something that wasn't carrot sticks or clementine pumpkins. Within a few minutes, the munchkins had polished off the first bag and went tearing into the sack. This is going to be bad. We started bobbing for apples and playing haunted house bingo. 20 minutes later, the kid in the purple monster costume started growling. It turns out it wasn't his voice, but his tummy.
Oh.
The teacher asked my son to walk the child down to the bathroom, so I followed them into the hall. The child's zipper appeared to be stuck and could not be budged. Suddenly, the floodgates opened and hot gravy began pulling around the monster chute.
Poor little kid.
He's probably scarred.
Oh, God,
I
for
told
life.
my son to get help. As he turned around to head back into the classroom, he slipped in the sludge, ironically soiling his Winnie the Pooh costume.
Oh.
Meanwhile, 2 more afflicted children were on their way to the restroom and tripped over my son in their panicked behaviors. As soon as Elsa smelled the putrid fumes, she began to vomit in Rapunzel's hair. At this point, another parent rushed into the hallway with a desperate minion. She took one despicable look at our situation and ran back into the room. I followed them in an effort to recruit assistance, and that is when I witnessed something that will haunt me forever. Children were screaming. The teacher was holding a stormtrooper as he stood helplessly in the room's only trash can.
I just keep picturing Papa. Like, he would have left. He would have just left.
Like his mother's trying. The apple basin was filled with a rancid-smelling rainbow stew of partially digested hummus, veggies, apples, and bear.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, the school did not have windows that opened, and a mom was spraying autumn leaf freshener in the futile attempt to cover the stench. At that point, the school secretary made the announcement that students should line up in the hallway for the pumpkin parade around the school. As the neighboring classrooms entered the hallway, the smog hit their nose and they began to run. Several second graders slipped in the remaining spears in front of our door. More retching resulted in further contamination of our only exit. We desperately attempted to evacuate the room before more students evacuated their pants. 2 of us placed plastic shopping bags over our hands like gloves and passed children. Sorry.
That was pretty smart.
Hold on. 2 of us placed plastic shopping bags over our hands like gloves and passed children through the doorway and over the worst of the wreckage. It was decided that the best course of action at this point was to enact an early dismissal and allow parents an opportunity to take the students home. Because the disaster originated in our room, students were quarantined in the gym and not allowed to ride the bus. Oh my God. Our school was closed for 2 days as kids were tested for a norovirus. Multiple visits to doctors confirmed the same causation: irritable bowels from ingestion of sugar substitutes. Fortunately, the children recovered quickly than I did. Forget haunted houses. I pass out every time I see a gummy bear.
Did they know he brought the gummy bears?
Didn't say, but... And that is what we leave you with today. I hope you all enjoyed our episode. And if you want to get a hold of us, you can.
Text us at 757-756-7487 or email us and go to connect@the KNOWBUDDIES757.com.
And thank you for listening to us on podcast platforms, or you can watch us on YouTube. I think we're pretty which you can actually see our expressions. And yeah, we're just so great to have you here. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we will see you next week on the Nobody 757.
Bye.
Want to be in the know?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Listen to us on all podcast platforms.
Follow us on all our socials.
Visit our website, thenobody757.com. I'm Kashmir.
I'm Jackie.
And we are
The Nobodies 757.